Do you know that my phone, when I type in the word good, now that I'm blaming you. This is your fault.
Why?
Because every time I type in the word good, my the auto suggested words, the next word is burger. So that's your fault.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
I was going to say.
That's a great thing.
Yeah.
The new Good Burger's coming out like next week or the week after that, like Thanksgiving week.
Hey, I'm so thankful for that.
I
I'm
am
thankful
too.
for a new good burger as long as it's okay.
I don't think it's going to be good.
Burger.
Okay, now we have an intro.
Yes! We got there in the end. All right.
All right, Tory, say something.
Remember when we were supposed to have a podcast? Podcast. Hello, welcome to the LEM'n'TEA podcast, where it's our show and not yours.
And we remember it so you don't have to.
Hey.
I'm gonna try to keep that going as long as I can.
Really? Okay.
I'm gonna forget next time for sure. What episode
How
number
ironic.
is it? Yeah, right?
We're on episode 42. 42, where my childhood TV obsessed brain, I remember that in my town being the channel for ABC Family.
Wow.
I used to remember TV
Me
channels,
too. Me
but
too.
Horrible. But anyway.
42, I think, was Nickelodeon for us. I think ABC Family growing up was, or at the time, it was called the Fox Family Channel.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember, it was different.
Yep.
It was like 30 something.
Mm-hmm.
And then TV was so weird because if you moved to different towns, the channels would change.
Yeah. I wish they could just be consistent.
Just make it one, man.
Yeah, because Disney was 47, Nickelodeon was 48, and then Cartoon Network was 34.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network, for me, okay, I watched so much Cartoon Network when I was like a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
That's a number I remember. It was 60.
Ooh, I like
60.
that. That's like a nice, good round number.
It was great. It was right next to Comedy Central, so
Ooh.
very easy.
52 was Comedy Central. Anyway, so stupid because now I don't have cable and my parents have HD and all the numbers they're kind of the same, but you put a 7 in the front to what?
They have cable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I go every Wednesday to watch Survivor because I don't have cable.
Ooh.
But now it's the same, CBS used to be channel 4, but now for the HD version you do 704. So it's kind of the same.
That's right. Yeah. That's right, because the regular channels are still
1 through 600, I guess.
Right, and then everything else that's over that is HD.
But cable is a scam. Anyway, welcome to the LEM'n'TEA podcast.
Hello, Wanho.
Hello, Wanho. I didn't say hi to you last time.
I remembered. I finally did it.
You remembered, so I don't have to.
I did, just
Nice.
like Doug Walker did for all of us in our sins.
Oh, he done. Have you ever seen that video of this little girl who's she looks like she's been through it, and her mom's asking what'd you learn in school today? And she goes, Martha Luther King Jr. And she goes, what did you learn about him? And she goes, he died for our sins. and she's so it's like she hasn't had her 3 cups of coffee, but she's 6 years old and
She's tired.
Yeah, I feel her on a very spiritual level.
Every day.
Yeah.
Feel that.
But here to give you some spiritualness. I'm Tory, this is Lewis, and we're ABC
Hello.
Family episode. ABC Family or
You know what used to air on ABC Family or Fox Family Channel?
what's that?
I think it was, I could be wrong, but I think Angela Anaconda started
Oh my god.
on that channel.
I remember
Which
her
I
on
hate that
Nickelodeon
show.
too. I think I also Fox Family though. She was on Fox.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, I hate. Did you ever see the Digimon movie in person?
No, not in theaters. I saw it afterwards. But I know what you're talking about. There was a lead into that movie, right?
Whose idea was it to be
I don't know.
here's an anime from Japan about a bunch of kids who find digital monsters and they fight mystical creatures. You know what really makes me think of that? Angela Anaconda. God,
Her
most
fucking voice. Is
all
so
of their
awful.
voices are so horrible. My mom used to hate it, and I also watched.
That's a show that parents hated. That
Rugrats too.
I liked Rugrats.
My
though.
mom didn't like that they didn't speak they spoke like babies.
They were
basically.
babies.
Well, yeah, but
They were.
just from a
They were children.
stimulation level as far as
Oh.
learning things
Okay.
I kind of absorbed everything I learned speaking wise from television.
Sure.
So
So
my
you're-
mom hated that.
So she was kind of upset that they would say things and those words weren't real words and they were kind of
Yeah.
backtracking you.
If they said gots to do, it's gots is not a word.
And Paschetti.
Oh my gosh. But she let me watch them anyway. But anyway, I understood why she was annoyed by those. Now I understand as an adult because Angela Anaconda is annoying.
I still think Rugrats is a good show.
I do too.
Up until a certain point. And we won't talk about it.
Okay.
It's still.
Oh, Oh, okay. All right. I was like, what point is it?
It's basically the movie. Like the movie came out and it was pretty decent, like okay. And then Dill became a mainstay of the cast because they weren't going to kill him off.
Right. He wasn't going to be
infant.
Dill went back to his home planet.
Dill left.
Do you remember in that movie? Because it's the one with the Reptar mobile, right? Is that the one we're talking about? Where it's like this really messed up scene of like Dill's crying and like Tommy can't take it anymore, and he's just like it's pouring rain and he's like standing over Dill like holding this like this jar of baby. Oh, is it compass?
Okay,
no,
he has the jar of baby food.
Yeah, and it's like. What was he planning on doing?
I don't know.
Really messed up.
He's like, you're hungry? You want some nanners?
He's a 1-year-old. It's like really messed up.
He is a 1-year-old. But his brother is a newborn. Like, and they were like crazy as shit ever. They were out in the listen. We're gonna talk about Rugrats.
Okay.
The movie, real quick. Okay,
sure.
They were out in the world. First time on the big screen. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
The soundtrack for that movie. I had the soundtrack for the movie. Okay.
I do. Okay. I remember a couple songs from that soundtrack.
Some of the songs were okay.
Yeah.
Some of them were whatever. But one of them had Mace, who at the time was my favorite rapper. Maya.
That one I remember. Yep.
And Blackstreet. They were on the same
I remember that
song.
one too.
And it was called Take Me There.
Yes. Yep.
And it was pretty decent. I think it was good.
Yeah. Do you know that Bruce Willis was the voice of Spike?
Yes.
Isn't that so weird?
It's just a weird fucking thing that they got him to do.
I know. I want to know. There's got to be interviews out there because I mean, unfortunately, he's in declining health, so
I know.
Nobody can ask him. But I'm sure there's an interview out there that somewhere is like, "Why did you take this role?"
If somehow we're able to stabilize him enough to answer one question, that's the one question I want to ask. And I'm like, why did you take the role for Rugrats?
I don't think it's happening. He's forgotten who Demi Moore is. So
is that his current wife or his
ex-wife? But that's the one they have all the kids with.
Oh God.
So it's pretty bad, and dementia's a horrible
sucks,
disease.
Man.
Yeah,
like
it seemed to happen so fast too, which is really how it happens. As somebody whose grandmother had dementia, it's a horrible disease. But
I know it's really fucking awful.
But I just want to know, like, or if it's like a oh my gosh, I forget his name, but he's the guy who played Gomez Adams in the Addams Family movies, and he said he also played a role in I think the Street Fighter movies, M. Bison.
Okay.
And he said he took that role because his kids wanted him to.
Oh.
So like that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe Bruce Willis took this role. Maybe. Like his kids liked Rugrats or something.
I mean, it's probably around the time when his kids were growing up. So I'm assuming maybe that's probably why. Or maybe they're just like, I don't know. Maybe they caught him at the right time, and they're like, "Hey, I'm in between roles. Let's go ahead and voice this dog."
I don't even think he didn't really even speak. It was just like noises.
It's kind of funny that he did that.
Although Tara Strong was just Dill and just making baby noises the whole. Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's all subjective. Maybe it's pay. Maybe it's the glory of being on Rugrats.
The glory.
You know.
Wow.
But
yeah. So, anyways, Rugrats. It was good up until a point, and that's the point where Bruce Willis was a dog.
The Scrappy Doo effect.
God, listen. Before that, Chucky used to kind of annoy me a little bit, but he was endearing.
Yeah.
Because he
went through some stuff.
His mom was dead.
Yeah. The other movie where they go to Paris was actually probably my favorite one.
I didn't see that in the theaters, and I've only ever seen that movie in like parts, like
when they show it on TV
or like HBO or something, like 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I've never seen it completely through.
Yeah, I mean the premise of it was kind of wild anyway, but like
Reptar Land or something.
Yeah, because it was like, here's this Japanese woman who is helming this Reptar Land in Paris, and then they added Kimmy, who actually I was fine with because she was at least the baby's like age. So even if she was just sort of there, she wasn't just like making goo goo gaga noises like
goo goo gaga. It's me, Kimmy.
And her voice actress was blind. Fun fact.
I didn't know that.
They had her scripts out in Braille. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
She was
more blind than Toph's voice actor was.
Damn,
who wasn't
Toph,
blind.
I was gonna just ask that. Oh, speaking of Toph, did you see the new trailer for the Avatar?
Yes. Since we're bouncing off nostalgia here of shows, let's talk about more nostalgia of shows. Sure. Except we're bringing them a lot of announcements for live action shows coming out.
Good stuff coming out.
So yeah, one of them is Avatar, which like I watched with Josh, and literally we went into it like it can't be any worse than the Shyamalan one. Like, even if it's not great, it's like, it can't be worse than that.
It wasn't. I went into Avatar. So I knew nothing about Avatar, okay? I only saw it front to back during the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, okay. Yep.
other than that, I had seen episodes here and there, and I liked it from what I had seen, right? But the first experience I had with Avatar was the fucking M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, no.
It was the very first
Oh,
ever,
no.
the very first thing I had
I'm
of it.
so sorry.
And I said, what the fuck? Everyone loves this shit. Like, what is this? And then everybody would be like, this isn't usually how it is.
No.
So.
Oh, that's so horrible. Oh, I'm sorry. It's like if your first experience with Rugrats was the first movie.
Oh God. That's better though. That's at least the people are the right voices and stuff. This was like completely different. It was a mess.
Yeah, and it's as soon as I saw like they at least had like because part of the whole thing is that like the Avatar world is based off of like real like chunks of like the real world, like chunks of like
the real world,
Asia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was like white people as like the waterbenders in the Shyamalan one.
White people.
And then like you know
they're not they're not actually white in the
the water tribe. I mean, in the Shyamalan
the water tribe isn't in the movie, right?
In the movie they're
Live
white,
action.
but in the cartoon they're like Inuit. Yeah. So that was already wrong, and then it's like the one and then it's East Asian for the fire tribe, and then Shyamalan was like, I'm gonna make them Indian.
He's Indian. He was like, I need some representation.
None of everybody there was I don't know. It was
Is
just
he Indian or am I making that up?
No,
okay.
I think.
Sorry if you're not Indian.
Indian or Middle Eastern, but I'm not sure because he goes by M. Night, so it doesn't really give me a glimpse into like. And I won't try to analyze where his heritage is. I just know that he can't make a really great adaptation of a movie.
Yes.
We learned that. So
very hard to miss him. He either gets it right or he gets it real wrong. And he got it real wrong for that one.
Yeah. So I was very happy with a lot of stuff, and the graphics actually look pretty good because I'm like also it's not like a theatrical movie, it's for Netflix and stuff. So
and it's in pieces like the original show, like it's an episode by episode.
Yeah,
rendition.
Because the problem too with the movie is that there's 3 books, which is basically 3 seasons. So like there's water and earth and fire, I think, for the TV series.
Sure.
And for the movie, they crammed like a 12 episode season into like barely an hour and a half movie, and skipping over a lot of parts. And it's like we are supposed to understand these characters and how they interact. And it's like
I don't remember a single fucking thing from the movie. I don't remember anything.
Well, it just things happen really fast, and if you're an outsider watching it like you were, like you're just
I was bored.
It's boring. But if you're a fan watching it, it's also boring, but it's also like
it's even worse.
And it's also like I know that nobody's going to emotionally connect with these characters the way that like the TV series has made people emotionally connect with the characters.
Sure.
Because everything's happening too fast and the pacing's all wild and M. Night's just doing whatever he wants and stuff. So another question where I would be like, why did you want to do this, M. Night?
From what I could see of the trailer, it was like 1 minute and 30 seconds. It was like very well put together. It seemed like everything matched.
Yeah.
I think Ashley was upset because I think the water tribe was white again or something. I'm not sure if that's actually what's happening.
But there are like light-skinned Inuits or whatever,
sure.
So
maybe they are.
I won't go deep diving into all of it, but I was also happy that like for some reason in the Shyamalan one, the arrow on Aang's head. Oh, that was the other thing too, where they kept mispronouncing people's names in the movie. Yeah.
Ang.
Oh, it's not like we have a 3-season show for you to bounce your name pronunciation off of. So weird, but
it's very dumb.
But the M. Night one had it like the arrow was just like a bunch of weird patterns and stuff, and so I saw the arrow in the Netflix trailer like just light up like it's supposed to, and I was just like,
it's fixed.
Yay!
I did it.
So everybody on the internet is very happy because we have a basis of comparison for what a bad one could be. So literally everybody's just being like, it can't be worse.
And it wasn't. It wasn't worse. It was way better.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna follow it pretty faithfully. I saw like the live action Fire Nation looks really good.
Yeah.
They all look really good. Like that whole cast. Aang looks great. Momo. Momo.
Yeah, Momo looks
good.
Cute.
Yeah. But the main cast looks good. I think everyone's gonna be really, really good. I think it's going to be strong adaptation.
And Fire Lord Ozai, because I don't know the other actors, but he's played by Daniel Day Kim, who's been in a few things.
Yes.
And including Lost. So
the other Uncle Iroh is somebody that I know I've seen in other movies. I can't remember who he is, but he looks fucking great. He looks great. He looks very wise.
Yes, he does.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So Expectations are moderately high because we have nothing to lose, so to speak. So when you're someone with nothing to lose.
So was the first movie you said went through the first book?
Yeah, but it shouldn't have. Like
It shouldn't
like
have.
a live action TV series is probably a better way to go about it because that's how the TV series was, and there's some filler episodes, but the bulk of it really does follow like this cohesive story.
Sure.
And especially because in spoilers for those who haven't seen the M. Night movie, they end on this like zinger where they bring out Azula and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like supposed to be this lead into a sequel that never happens, and it also just shows why it doesn't work as just like a movie, at least the way that he did it. It should be done as a TV series as God intended.
That movie's so bad that I cannot bring myself to watch it again too.
No, once is enough.
You know, like how you can watch a really bad movie and it's funny because at least it's funny and it's stupid, right? Like,
Well, there's a difference between like the worst thing a bad movie can be is boring.
it's boring.
Because then it's just abysmal to watch, and it's like not only a bad movie, but there's nothing to like really help you get through the tough time of watching it.
At least like a movie like, for example, The Room
Yeah.
is so bad that it's good because you can poke fun at the acting, you can poke fun at the script. It's like the script is not awful for Avatar. It's not so awful that it's not good. I don't want to say it's good.
It's just like I feel like when I watched it, everybody was really devoid of character.
Yeah.
Like
It was like a blank slate.
Yeah. So I'm hopeful there. Did you also see Netflix put out a trailer for a YuYu Hakasho live action?
I didn't.
Okay.
How does that look?
I haven't watched YuYu Hakasho in a while.
Okay.
It comes off a little darker in tone than I remember the show being.
The show's kind of dark
anime show.
sometimes. They were fighting against hell demons, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I don't remember a whole lot of it.
Who's Kuwabara?
Is that the one with the old red pompadour?
Yes, it is.
I can't remember. I don't even know if I remember seeing. I remember seeing and see. This is my problem is I don't remember any of the characters except for Yusuke.
You remember Yusuke? Do you remember Botan?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Not by name.
All right. No problem.
The person with the red hair who throws roses.
Okay.
They looked good. There's a person who has, I think it's a pacifier, but not really. But they keep it in this
Okay.
live action.
Listen, let's go through the.
Okay, we're gonna learn Yu Yu Hakusho together, relearn. But he does the spirit gun. Yep,
Yeah.
that looks good. I was waiting for someone to just yell Urameshi, and nobody did. And it's Japanese, I should say too. It's not. It's not an American adaptation. It's Japanese live action. So
Okay, I see it.
Considering there's a American adaptation of Death Note, that's probably for the best.
It looks pretty good, from what I can see.
Yeah, I thought that it made me want to watch the anime again. So.
Kuwabara, right there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's Konma.
Yes.
Who actually is this person.
Yep. And I was surprised. Like I don't know. He talked pretty coherently for the live action person
For having a pacifier.
Yeah, but he might have dubbed over.
Did they have the pacifier in his mouth?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, I gotta watch this after this. I gotta remember to watch it. Cool.
But it came sort of out of nowhere to me.
Neat.
But
Oh, fuck.
and I actually don't know if I don't know if it's a movie or a TV show. I think it's a movie, but I'm not 100% certain. But
I'm down to give it a try. Shit.
yeah, people in the comments, I think it's a lot of especially like live action anime adaptations have a lot of people like this could either be really good or this could be like Death Note or whatever.
Well, we've seen where that leads. Like Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, that was the other comparison too. They were
Hang
like
on.
it could be really good or it could be.
She's gonna do something stupid. Hey. If she jumps up there, it's gonna come down. Like
No.
And I know what she's looking to do because she is not.
A team player.
She just wants to do what she wants to do. She's a cat.
Yeah, she is. She's a kitty cat.
Anyways.
That was what people were comparing it to. Though was it
Cowboy
could be
Bebop.
really good or cowboy. And I'd never seen the anime, so I didn't watch the live action. I didn't hear that it was like bad,
It wasn't what people wanted. So
that's why it didn't get a season 2.
Yeah, it was, and I think it happened like right during the pandemic, either like right before it or like right during it. If I remember correctly.
Maybe a little after. I thought it was 2020.
Oh, maybe it's a little after.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. I'm sorry.
Just a little bit. And John Cho was oh shoot. See,
Who?
John Cho.
John Cho.
From
John Cho.
Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
And other stuff, but I don't know.
I don't know much about the live action. I watched the anime, obviously.
Yeah.
The anime is
It's on my to watch list.
definitely a classic. Don't be turned off by the live action.
No,
failure
I'm definitely
on
not.
that one. It's worth its salt, and it deserved better.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one episode of the live action one, and I was like,
But But see, I don't know if it was like something where they were going for it. I'm assuming they were going for it being like not a solid like retelling, but maybe like a reinterpretation. Which, for
all right, we talked about this 1,000 times.
Yeah.
People don't want that.
No.
People don't want you to take what they love and to make it any different, because it doesn't. It never works. It never works.
Yeah.
No, it's
no,
like,
it doesn't.
Directors want to be like, I'm going to take this and make it realistic, or I'm going to take it and make it my own. Like, don't do that.
And that's the trouble I find with some like animated like live action remakes. It's like there's a reason why they work as animations.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of hard to convince, I guess, nowadays, because like I said, I thought the Spirit Gun was pretty well done in the trailer. But it's like, it's kind of hard to make something like the Spirit Gun look convincing when it was not supposed to be convincing, because it was in a 2D animated show. Like, that wasn't really the goal of making it look realistic. But
not to throw you off course, but did you want something for dinner?
Oh, sure. Josh and I will share a pizza, a cheese pizza.
I will get a pepperoni for myself. So I'm sorry to stop things, but they're texting, and I felt the texting. I'm like, shit.
We're doing it live. So YuYu Hakasho, a third one that came out was at least the announcement of Legend of Zelda as a live action movie, which I still think is like such a weird choice, especially considering how well the 3D animated Mario Brothers movie did. I just don't really know if I understand why they are doing Zelda as live action.
Oh, yes, this is a new thing. Okay, yeah. So, all right.
And when it came out, we were hanging out anyway, and so we were spitballing, like, who should play whoever or whatever.
So the funniest responses are obviously Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, because it's now funny because we've seen that the Mario movie works.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
I think it like 80% works with Chris Pratt. I still think that maybe there were some parts where it's like, this
Charles
is
Martinet.
Chris Pratt. Yeah. He's retired now, though. I haven't even heard
That's probably the reason why he's retired, though.
I haven't heard the new voice of Mario. They found a replacement, but I can't remember.
He's in Super Mario Wonder. I think he's fine.
It's not like he has a lot of dialogue anyway. Plus, I think that like they didn't even need to replace the Mario right away. I'm sure they have like a huge backlog of sound effects and noises that Mario
grunts.
Makes. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, you just pull it from Nintendo 64.
So here's
Mario
the thing,
64.
though.
Yeah.
You replace Mario. Charles Martinet does more than just Mario. He does Mario, Luigi, Wario. Yep. Probably some other characters that I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think he does Waluigi too.
I guess he must, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They all sound pretty much the same, so tonally.
They're the same character. Yeah. It's the same person. So I wonder if the new guy does just Mario or if he does all the ones that Charles Martinet did.
With the articles, I haven't heard it, but the articles I read where it was like, meet the new voice of Mario, but I wonder that too now. Same thing with jumping off a little bit.
Sure.
They replaced the voices for Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah.
Because Justin Roiland was a turd, I guess, and they got rid of him. And I think they're two different voices.
They are.
Yeah, and I listened and it didn't sound. I don't watch the Rick and Morty really, but they didn't sound too different to me.
No, I think they did fine with that casting. I haven't watched any of the new episodes at all, but I've seen all the old ones.
Because it's your worst favorite thing to watch.
My wife falls asleep to that show every fucking night, so I literally
like a lullaby. Peace to all worlds.
So I have episodes just memorized in my brain, and like it shuts off at certain points because that's when I go to bed.
I think people just need to also like subvert this expectation that like there's nobody who's ever going to sound exactly like Charles Martinet. There's nobody who's ever going to sound like Justin Roiland. So you gotta like prepare yourself that it's gonna be a little bit different. Like imagine it's Charles Martinet like with a cold or something. I don't know. Like
it's kind of important too. It's kind of an important conversation too because we're getting into AI a lot now, and this is why like the strikes. Probably we're dealing with a lot of this too,
which are over.
Yay! I know you want to talk about that, but
yeah, I know I keep jumping.
We don't have to do that right now. I'm sorry, but my point was, it's important that we kind of lock this stuff in now because like people are getting older. Like they're the voice actor for Mickey some odd years ago passed away, and then they hired a new one, and he's fine. And it's like eventually it gets to the point where like you won't really notice.
Yeah.
So, but I think it should always be people doing it. Like
I think
like
so too.
Actual people, not AI voices or like all the things Charles Martinet has ever said and compiled. Like I think that's weird. So
yeah, I'm just saying it could be an option. Just because Mario doesn't have like a lot of like fluid speaking dialogue that ever really totally changes.
I'm fine with them using actual recordings of Charles Martinet.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't want them to generate it.
Oh, no.
You know, like generate actual...
Like the Sandy Boys SpongeBob K-pop cover group that we listen to.
Exactly. Who I need to check in with because I know they've had some new covers. You had brought up... God, what were you talking about?
I'm talking about the Legend of Zelda live action.
Legend of Zelda.
So we were like spitballing people who could play. And it sucks too because the person that we thought of for playing Zelda was Anya Taylor-Joy, who just did the voice of Peach. But it's a voice, so like she could technically just like slide in and
she kind of looks
play Zelda.
Like that race of people like in that game, they're called Hylians, and they're kind of like elves. You know what I mean?
And she's got that look.
She kind of looks like an elf a little bit, right?
Yeah, and then the two people for Link, people were between were Chris Pratt,
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland and Timothy Chalamet, who's gonna be Willy Wonka in the Wonka movie that I honestly think looks absolutely horrible. I don't think it.
I don't care for it. I'll watch it if it comes out and I'm in the room.
But like, why ever would Hugh Grant like be an Oompa Loompa?
Hugh Grant is on his way out. He has dementia.
Like what? We're just diagnosing anybody and everybody now. Dang, all right. My mental disease is not your
culture.
Yeah. But that movie looks terrible. But as far as like a elfish looking actor, those two are kind of
elfish.
I don't know how else to describe
Tom
it.
Holland looks pretty young, even though he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
But he has like a young face, you know. And so does Link. Link is like ever young. I can't think of the words, but ever young. Ever young. Youthful. There we go.
I think about it too.
I can't think of another person that would fit that mold at the moment. I don't really know very many actors, so that's probably what's going on.
Well, most of the voice acting for the Mario movie were also things that we would have never guessed anyway. So I'm imagining it's going to be the same for whenever they announce the casting. People kept saying it's like Miyamoto's going to be like...
This is Miyamoto. Sorry, his tweets are always so weird. They start like that.
When he's like, Link will be played by Tom Holland. He's so cool, or something like that, making fun of the
he's so sweet.
And then people were joking that like The Rock, who's in everything, is going to be Ganon. Or then people conversely were saying Jack Black would also be Ganon. So things like that. Like I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't know even a live action, because like I don't even know. Like they had to give Mario like a plot, because the idea of Mario as an entity is that he's just doing odd jobs and he doesn't he's just there. Like he didn't have
crime.
A backstory. Well,
he's a cop. He's a cop.
But like he's in a sewer, and then he's like in the galaxy, and then he's like in a city. So like he never had an established like backstory. So I don't know if what they're gonna do for. I don't know if the Zelda verse.
Zelda has a more established lore.
Okay.
But each Link is different. Like each game has a different Link.
Well, then there was one game that had 4 Links.
With the 4 swords. Yeah.
Okay. I don't play Legend of Zelda, so
I don't know much about that one, just because I never had 4 people to play it with, so I never played it. I was sad. But the thing with Zelda is it has a more lore-based background. Like each game is different. I don't know what timeline they would do, because there's so many. I was just going to
ask you what you think. What maybe I guess it would be based off one of the games. What one you think would be a good adaptation fit?
So I talked about this with a friend briefly.
Oh, okay.
Who will be here later.
Okay.
And they were bouncing off ideas, and I was bouncing off ideas. I would like to really see the Ocarina of Time series, because I think that would be cool. That was one of my favorite games. But more than likely, it'll probably be Breath of the Wild.
Oh, like a current one?
Because there's a lot of space to go there.
Okay.
So.
I feel like no matter what, there's going to be some sort of origin story, I think.
Probably.
Because that's the direction they went with Mario, and even for like kind of like Detective Pikachu kind of sort of. So
it's just
you need to establish the world.
Link is a character that has never talked. Like he doesn't talk,
which
except for
why it's so weird.
Yes, except for that one time when he did talk in those cartoons that nobody liked.
Oh yes, everybody keeps saying that they want him to say "Excuse me, princess."
Excuse me, princess. Yeah. Right? He's gonna do it. We know it's gonna happen.
Yes. I
hope
so.
Here's how it should happen, or how I would like to happen.
Okay.
It's either Link or it's someone else. It doesn't matter who it is. It's gonna be said. Somebody is she's blocking the path somewhere.
Okay.
And they just subtly say it. They're like, "Excuse me, princess," and then, I don't know.
I hope they do it subtly. I think that would be much better than
Him
doing this
dragging it
like
out.
the pinched nose sounding
Excuse me, princess. Yeah, that.
And like I watched a compilation once of him every time Link said that in the animated show, and I swear they must have been like in on the joke because
Probably.
it seemed like every single time it was just held out longer and longer and longer.
Excuse.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not that long.
Me.
Your audio file.
Look at that. It's pretty solid though.
Solid blue.
Cool. Back to blue.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't know. They only just announced that it was a thing, so I'm sure we're not gonna get like the actual product until like 2025. But
I think the problem we're gonna have with Zelda is that it's going to be live action, and I say that because even though the voices for the Mario movie weren't exactly perfect, they were close enough, and they had the luxury of having the animation there, so that's a lot to lean on.
Part of me does wonder too if they chose to go the 3D animated route for Mario because they already did a live action Mario movie and it was not great.
Maybe.
But if that was the case, that maybe should have been, I don't know, a history lesson to Nintendo to be like, hey, listen, guys, live action, maybe not your thing.
I don't know why they would choose to do it live action. I think
Miyamoto will tell us, or somebody at Nintendo.
this is Miyamoto, and I've chosen
this is Miyamoto.
Live action is so cool. It's very neat.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's just capitalizing on all the live action things that we're seeing now with like One Piece and YuYu Hakasho, like you said, Airbender, blah blah blah.
It does kind of bum me out because I know that animation takes a long time and it's costly in that sense, I guess, more than people who want to dump in so much money for like the live action stuff. But it makes me bummed out that like I feel like we don't see as much animated media anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer for me, but
we do, but we don't. We do, but like you said, it's everybody wants to see a person on the screen. They want a big name out there. They want
The Rock will be Ganon. He's so cool.
If The Rock is Ganon, I'll live with it.
Yeah,
because at least he's kind of he's already tan. First of all, like sorry to say this, I don't want a white Ganon. Like he's not white.
Don't whitewash Ganon, Nintendo.
Ganon's not white. He's
like green, isn't he?
He's supposed to be tan.
I thought his skin was like an olive green in some games, or am I thinking?
Sometimes it is. It's like grayish or like he's got to have the flowing red hair.
Yes,
okay.
that I remember.
That has to happen. They might have an easier time with Ganon in the newer ones just because he's not exactly like alive. He's like more of a manifestation.
Oh.
In the new one, I think he is alive, the one that just came out.
Okay.
But they probably wouldn't start with that.
All right, so let me ask you this question that I've never understood.
Please.
As a non-Zelda player. What's the difference between Ganon and Ganondorf? Or is that the same? Is that like just his full government name?
Sure, Ganondorf is usually the full name. I think they started using Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Because they were giving him more of a lore in that game. And in all the other games, he was basically like a pig monster.
Okay.
Yeah. He's always been like a boar.
Yeah.
Which is why he turns into a boar.
Because that's why I thought that it was like his final form. Like there's like in Dragon Ball, there's like Boo and then there's Majin Buu.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, his hulked up form must be, I don't know, Ganondorf.
That's true too. I mean, like, they're, oh my God.
As a whole lore, I don't know.
It's just, it's a video game. So it's like, it's different. So Ganondorf is Ganon. It's the same thing. I don't know where they're going to go with this. I don't
think anybody does.
I don't know if it's going to be good, though.
It just seems so random. Like, it's not something anybody was totally clamoring for as far as, like, a movie.
Miyamoto was.
Okay, well, I can't speak for Miyamoto-san.
But other than that, like, I'm trying to think of who would even be the characters, and I can't think of anyone else for... I think you had said Emma Watson was...
That was the other person people were throwing out.
Which I would not mind that.
I don't know what she's acted recently. Like I thought she was taking a step back from that. Well, that was a few years ago.
2017.
Yeah, I can't think of recent-ish stuff because I thought she was stepping back from acting, but I can't remember.
Maybe.
Now. And then the only thing I remember was people were saying that Danny DeVito should be Tingle.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. So
I think he would make a great Tingle. If they're not gonna make him Wario, make him Tingle.
I know. I'm fully expecting Wario to be voiced by him in the sequel of the movie. Yeah.
He would be perfect for it. He really would.
And Willem Dafoe as Waluigi was the other fan casting that I saw. Yeah.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. And I forget who somebody said for Daisy, but I'm
Willem
sure
Dafoe for Ganondorf. He's the only white person I'll let be Ganondorf.
About like Steve Buscemi.
He doesn't. I'm sorry, but he's too frail for Ganondorf.
Too frail. Willem Dafoe's kind of frail too, though.
Right,
he's like he's not stocky.
Okay, if it's a fight, all right, street fight.
Okay.
Super fight.
Between Steve Buscemi and
yes.
Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe.
Okay,
win.
yeah. There you go.
But I mean, that's like.
It's in his name, Dafoe.
Ooh, that's true.
He has to play the bad guy.
Okay, you're right.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Okay, I rest my case. But and so another live action one it's already happened and you've already seen it, and Josh and I just started watching it, which was One Piece.
Whee!
And Josh, my husband Josh,
hates it.
No. Well, so he is all caught up on the anime, which seems like such a ridiculous, like Herculean task.
We're talking like 1,200 or so episodes.
It's like 1,100 some odd, and then
yeah.
And then you're reading or attempting to read there's 113 volumes of the manga currently.
I've read enough to be current on the season. So,
but I was watching with him and I kept looking to him to see if there was anything he like disapproved of and stuff. And he said that he's like, oh yeah, that happens and that happens. And then he was it kind of jumped a little bit so they could bring all the characters together. We only have seen the first 2 episodes, so we're not super in it yet. But he said, well, that does actually happen, and then this and whatever and stuff. And there were like little Easter eggs. He said there was some, I don't know, there was some song playing in the first episode in the background that he said was somebody's like theme or whatever in the anime and stuff. So,
that's cool.
So he approves of it, and I think he's a very tough judge of it. So I was happy that he approved of it.
Do you approve of it?
I only know what I know through One Piece, through him, and through the 2 movies that are out. Like everything has been just osmosis. Sure. So I don't have any sort of frame of reference to go off of, but I enjoyed it.
Good.
I think I don't think this was the intent. I'm gonna get a little politically correct here, kind of sorta. I don't think when they were casting they were necessarily looking at like the race of characters, because like, but I think like Iñaki is such a good fit for Luffy, but I don't think like I don't feel like that was the goal of like this person has to be this race or whatever to make it. Like I think it was just they maybe were casting based on like the personality that fit the character. That's my thought on it.
I'll tell you the truth of probably what happened, okay?
Okay, sure.
So in one of the in the manga, right? There's a part in like either the beginning or end, I can't remember where it's at, but it's like a question and answer kind of thing.
Okay.
And I think in one of those panels, Oda divulged like what all the nationalities would be, and he said that Luffy would be Brazilian.
Oh, okay.
So these are kind of based off of that. Like he said, oh yeah, Usopp would be from Africa.
Okay.
Nami would be from the Netherlands or something like that.
Okay.
And obviously Zoro is Japanese. So.
Okay. Well then, never mind. There goes that theory. But I still think that they were still casting like looking more toward who could embody the character.
I think Iñaki, it's like a role of a lifetime for him. Like, I think he's a young actor, and I don't even know if he's been in a lot of things because I don't really know him too well.
I don't think so. I think he's like super young. He's like 23 or something, or 22.
This might be his first real gig.
Yeah.
But he's perfect. He's
oh my gosh.
He's Luffy. Like, the dude is Luffy. He's really good. I know it's anime. I know some of it's a little cheesy here and there, but you can kind of look past it. It's a fun show.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I think casting with like who fits the personality or archetype better in mind works for this, and I also think that because I think Oda was also decently involved in this as well. That also helped with making it like faithful to like taking some liberties, I guess, because it's live action rather than like because like, Luffy, he's made of rubber because he ate the gum fruit. And that actually looks okay in the live action, but it's also like you do have to sort of take some... It's a very action-intense anime, so...
You're focused on the action. There's a compelling story there, which helps, obviously. And they obviously had to make Luffy a little bit smarter than he appears in the anime. Like, he's kind of a big dummy.
He's dope.
He's a big dope, and he just goes around doing whatever he wants. Like, in this one, you can actually see, like, there's a person in there. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense for the live action universe. It's very good.
Yeah, and just from like the set designs and the character designs, you can tell that people like gave a damn, which is also great.
One of the showrunners is a huge One Piece fan.
That also helps.
Like, huge One Piece fan. He went on a stream that I watched, and he kind of broke down like what the arcs were and like how they were making the show work. And it really, like you said, it really helps when you have somebody that's a fan running the whole process because, I mean, you keep it all on track the right way. Because
it got renewed for a season 2, I believe, so, which is great. And it's also great that the actors' strike is over and they reached a deal, which I'm assuming is for the benefit of the actors, which the AI aspect was also, and syndication were also contentious points. Why did I bring this up?
I think you wanted to talk about it, didn't you?
Well, that was basically the gist of what I wanted to say about it, but I've completely lost my train of thought of why I even brought it up.
You're talking about renewal for season 2?
Oh, yes.
Right?
So my shows on Netflix are finally going to end, which is great.
Is that good?
Because they can finally film again.
Gotcha.
Because the writer's strike ended a month or so ago, and that worked for shows that didn't have actors, like talk shows.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as the writer's strike ended, it's like, oh, the Colbert Show's back on now. It's like, oh, okay. They're just chomping at the bit.
Fucking waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
Here.
They had like a preview, like I talked about this before, but I remember like they announced that like morning that the writer's strike was over, and then when I was watching Survivor with my mom that evening, they already had like Monday, the Colbert Show is back or whatever. It's like they had that stored away and ready.
They were waiting.
But I have 2 shows on Netflix that I watch, which are Stranger Things and Umbrella Academy, and they're on their last seasons, but they have not been able to film like this whole year.
What season will that put Stranger Things at?
They're both at 4. No.
4?
No, Stranger Things is at 5 and Umbrella Academy is at 4. The problem with Stranger Things is this started when the kids were literally kids, and now they are like early 20s, and only like 3-ish years have passed in the Stranger Things universe. So I'm curious about how they're going to like de-age some of the characters.
Yeah, because they're getting older. They're actually literally growing up. Like,
I think they're like freshmen in high school is where the last season left off.
Okay, but they're older than that?
Yeah, they're like 19, 20 or whatever. Like, some have started college or whatever. So, because they haven't been able to film. So, but it'll be great because I want those shows, because I miss the days when like show seasons like came back within a year.
Yeah, that was cool, huh?
These gaps in between seasons is so large. It just gets this feeling of nobody's gonna care about this show after you wait this long to make new episodes. But
Netflix is also notorious for dropping the bag when people get really invested in a show too. Like,
so much.
Just end a show.
I see petitions trend all the time about like renewing, like bringing a show back, and most times it doesn't work. But like,
damn it, it's been a very TV heavy
discussion here.
But I don't think it's a bad thing. But I mean, like, it's pretty. Like, I think we just watched a lot of TV this week. Like,
I watched a lot, and I was raised on television.
I was raised by television.
my mom says Barney was my babysitter. She would literally leave me. I don't know. Well, okay, so this is gonna sound bad.
And food.
This is gonna sound bad. She would leave me at home by myself. My grandparents lived next door.
Okay.
And so she would go and see them, and just have me stay at home, and I'll still be like in the same spot watching Barney. Don't do that with your kids, because I don't want to encourage anything like leaving your young children at home alone. But she wasn't far away, and also like it was a walk away. And I really was transfixed by this purple dinosaur. I wasn't moving, and she knew I wasn't moving, so
yeah. Well, there you go.
You do you, Mom.
But anyway, parent any way you see fit. Leave your kids at home if you want.
Within reason.
And leave the stove on too.
I was just gonna say,
Light
make sure
candles.
You don't.
Make sure you definitely lock all the exits, seal the windows, and turn the gas. Hopefully you have a gas stove on. Turn it on.
Okay. No. Oh my God.
Sorry.
No. We did have a gas stove though, but I never cared. I think I burned my arm on it once, when I was a child, and then I was like, "Ow, that thing gets hot. I don't want anything to do with that." So.
One thing I wanted to talk about with TV is we finished the show. I know you don't watch it, but I'll be brief about it. It was amazing. It was Loki.
I was gonna say,
season 2.
I saw you tweet about that.
I was dying about it. I think it was phenomenal. I think it really like restored my faith in what Marvel can do. And I can't really say much because you didn't watch it, so it's gonna be a very boring conversation.
No, I'm interested anyway.
It was so good. Like, the season started out kind of okay. It was okay. They brought back I don't remember his name. I'm sorry. He's that actor from the Goonies that was in. He came back. He had like a really hard time getting an acting role.
Corey Feldman?
Nope.
Okay, never mind.
He was Asian. He was Asian.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know who it is,
I'm
but I know
so
who you're talking
sorry.
about. No, that's okay. I know who you're talking about, though.
Just out of respect, I'm going to look up his name because
Okay.
I want to shout him out because I think he's awesome.
Shout out. Yeah, no, I still feel a tiny bit burned out from Marvel stuff, so I haven't really watched anything.
That's totally understandable. Ki Hui Kwan.
Yes. Yep.
He was great. He was a new character that they introduced. Awesome.
I'm so happy he's gotten like a second wind, it seems.
Me too.
Yeah.
People wanted him to return to the new Indiana Jones movie too, because he was in there as a kid.
Harrison Ford is so
I know.
old. Like, no offense to him, but it's like so ridiculous how we just latch onto these same like 4 action people like Tom Cruise and whoever who's like 60 now. Yeah. It's like let them
die.
No. Oh my god. Wow. No.
Let them die in peace.
No. I was gonna say let them take like, I don't know. The Rock took a break from action to do like the Tooth Fairy or whatever. Just let them take.
Great. Yeah. Take bit parts, just like Bruce Willis did when he took the Spike role.
Or Vin Diesel in the Pacifier. Yeah, you know.
He sucks too.
Family.
Damn family.
But anyway, Loki.
Loki was amazing. It started off very, very awful. Like just to say, it was bad. Jonathan Majors, who is the big bad in the movie, he's Kang the Conqueror, right? Mm-hmm. He was positioned to be the new big bad movie for the entire new MCU, basically. TV, whatever, you name it. Then he got caught up in some allegations of like domestic abuse.
Okay, that's why I know his name.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
That hasn't been solved. I don't even think that's gone to trial yet.
I haven't seen any follow up on it.
But they filmed season 2 before they knew that.
Okay.
So he was in it.
Yeah.
His character is this all-knowing time god. Like, just knows everything that's gonna happen. Can like, this is gonna happen, so I can stop you by doing this. Like, there's really no way to get around him.
The best kind of character to.
Yeah. To domestically abuse somebody, right?
Oh, okay, well, I wasn't going with that, but
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I took it to dark places. In this show, there are many different timelines, and on each timeline, like you might have a different version of yourself. So, like the main character Loki has different variations of himself in different timelines. One of them is a woman named Sylvie. Okay. The main plot, basically. Okay. They're in this place called the TVA. They're trying to get things sorted out. It's like a time authority. They have to like keep time safe from the bad things, right?
That sounds like strange. Umbrella Academy, actually.
Yeah, it's probably very similar. But
so I understand what you're saying is what I mean.
One of the variants for this character comes back, Jonathan Majors, right? Mm-hmm. He is this bumbling fucking fool from like the 1800s. Yeah. All right. He is. The worst part about it is that the character is portrayed with a stammer, and it's so bad.
Oh, like a fake. Yeah, there's nothing worse than a fake stammer.
I have a real stammer, so like I can tell you when someone's putting it on.
Lewis is the leading authority on what sounds like a legit stammer.
I'm the leading authority on stammering, all right?
There's a movie called The King's Speech with Colin Firth, where it's a king. Now I forget who. I don't know British royalty, but
didn't he do well in that?
Yes, that was gonna be my example of a good that's sort of like accents. Like there are people who coach people to have convincing stammers or accents. So
yeah, you can.
It's a bummer that this person didn't have a convincing.
He was so. I'll show you like a clip or two afterwards. It's awful.
Like Porky Pig.
It was the worst acting I've seen in a long time, and it was like bad. Just bad. Not redeemable. Just bad. Right. So anyways, that got me down. I'm like, this show sucks. We were missing weeks too. We're like, fuck it. We're not going to watch this week because like we'll catch it next week. It was so fucking horrible. We got into it in the second half. It was great. It started turning around.
Was it because there was less of him?
Yes.
Yay.
For what? Actually, there was probably more of him, but it centered more on Loki on like the last couple of episodes, which I think is what was needed. Mm-hmm. And it was such a good ending.
Good.
Such a good ending.
Yeah, I saw you did a screenshot of one person that I don't have any context for any of this, but you posted it on Twitter and you were giving them a lot of praise. Natalie something or other ? Was it Natalie?
Natalie?
I don't know. I thought her name started with an N. You posted a screenshot and I don't remember.
Damn. I gotta look this up because I don't remember what I just wrote.
Uh-oh.
Natalie.
We're unprepared. Or I'm unprepared.
I'm never prepared.
Natalie Holt. This.
Oh, that was the person who did the score.
Oh,
the
scoring.
First,
I'm
the
okay.
First,
I see now.
sorry that I didn't know them.
No, sorry.
The last couple minutes of the show had this amazing soundtrack. It was just like this. It was the theme of the show, but it was so fucking good. I gotta show you it.
Okay, yeah.
It's so good.
Please do.
Amazing,
Okay.
amazing, so good. It ended so well. Owen Wilson's in the show. Okay,
Really?
Which you might think very weird, right?
Yeah.
He fits in perfectly. He's so good in his role. He was very convincing.
It's always great when like people who are actors that people consider as like character actors or like typecast actors can it makes the difference with like directing and stuff like that as far as giving them a little more to work with. And I totally think of Owen Wilson as a dude
Wedding
bro.
Crashers.
Like yeah.
Yeah. And that's what everyone thought of him. But like I don't know. He looks great.
Cool.
He's looking sharp. He's like got this gray hair, short cut. Looks awesome.
Imagine that.
He looks good.
Nice.
I think the cast did well, minus that one guy who is probably not going to be in the show anymore. I don't know even know how that's going to work. He's going to go back to his home planet, his home timeline.
His home timeline.
And it was amazing. I'm sorry.
Nice.
I had to bring that up.
No, please do.
I loved it.
This is apparently our
This is the TV episode.
television recap episode, which is great, or live action or whatever this is. Just spitballing nostalgic properties.
So while we're going, because I think we're aiming for a shorter episode today because we have a couple things going on.
Yeah. This is like the Reader's Digest episode.
Yeah.
Because it's...
Which I think is good sometimes. Have a shorter one and kind of see how that goes. Did you want to talk about this concert we went to recently?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I guess this segues right into the K-pop corner.
Right.
Hey, good
Great.
tandem introduction.
Hey.
Nice. Yes. Okay. So, we're both rocking our unofficial merch we got from the Everglow concert we talked about last episode. We went with a friend to Everglow in
Connecticut.
New Haven. And it was a smaller venue, like of all the K-pop. This is now your third K-pop concert, I think.
Yeah.
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 So
Actually,
this is the smallest of the three because, like I said before, every single K-pop person releases like a mini album, and then they're suddenly like, we have to go and tour in the U.S. now.
Well, it's becoming a very popular thing, right? Like a lot of them are gearing up to take the U.S. markets over.
I still hate this idea that the U.S. is the end all be all for like validation of your music.
It's just how it is right now. I mean,
it's so dumb to me.
Not that we started the music industry, but we kind of did. Like
before acts like, I guess Pitbull to an extent, and Daddy Yankee or whoever took mainstream America, like when you think of like Latin music, people would think of the Macarena or something. Like it was very hard for, it was very hard for non-English like singer, or before, people don't like to acknowledge this, but before K-pop actually got a footing in America, people thought of Gangnam Style, so they just thought of these like really kind of like kitschy, goofy versions of just a tiny bit of what that genre or that country or that language of music has to offer.
Being from like a Hispanic household, like he's not even Macarena was obviously everybody good.
Yeah,
but like I think of other people like Celia Cruz and Hector Lavoe and like Tito Puente and just people like that.
All right, I actually do not know who most of those people are. So,
see?
So speaking as the white person in
about,
the room,
how about Los Lonely Boys? You know them?
Yeah. Well, okay. So the only song I know from them is the "How Far Is Heaven" song.
Yeah, I think that's
I mostly meant as far as music sung in another language. Oh, okay.
I know what you meant.
Okay.
I know what you meant.
I'm assuming they must have sung in maybe Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I don't think anybody. I'm gonna. I'll speak from I guess my family and how I grew up. I don't think anybody.
No, I'm giving you shit. It's fine. I understand what you mean when you say that. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's Menudo in the 80s. Who is
or like the ketchup song, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, that Macarena, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're talking Ricky Martin, and then we're talking Mark Anthony, J Lo.
Yes.
The mainstream.
But from what I knew of them, or Shakira.
Oh, Gloria Estefan, I can't forget her either.
Selena.
But
I feel like most of what we Americans knew from them, white Americans knew from them, was the English songs or the English versions of those songs.
And it's the same thing with K-pop. Like they, anyways,
but
back on track.
But we're evolving and being a little more open, I guess, or there's a little more recognition given to worldwide acts, which is great. But it just feels like every single K-pop group is like, we said they have to tour now, when they don't have enough music in their like repertoire to do that. Everglow has never released a full album, but they have a ton of
mini albums.
Mini albums. And we listened to their entire discography on the ride there. It was maybe like an hour and 20 minutes ish. Maybe.
It wasn't long.
It wasn't long. They made it work though. They had I wrote notes too, but we went to go see them. And my point in the very beginning was they picked a venue that I think was an appropriate size.
Sure. It wasn't even sold out.
No. And so I was like, if those seats in front of us aren't taken, I'm just going to go hop over there.
Everyone had the same idea.
I guess when I showed you, there was this like Everglow fan site on Twitter that was saying that the venue was only 60% sold. And by the end of it, they said it was like 71% sold. So I guess that must have boosted it. And people were like, if you're in the area, just go see Everglow or whatever.
Yeah, which is fine. Like, great, get the word out there.
But
the
I
venue
still
was
think,
appropriate.
Yeah, I think so. And they've been doing some other other concerts in America. And I think the pictures that they take with the crowd, they look appropriately sized.
Yeah.
Because I think it's worse to, oversell yourself than undersell. Like that was the problem with Luna and Triple S, where they were
Triple S. Girls capitalism.
Where they released like not much of anything, like a mini album, like I said, and then said we're gonna go on tour.
I think that's.
But it was to the scale, and it was like the same venues as like what Dreamcatcher did. Dreamcatcher, who's been around for 7 years,
was a much more expensive discography, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
But,
Triple S.
Oh, you mean yes,
yeah.
Dreamcatcher, yes. But I thought you were talking about Triple S. I was like, I don't really know much about them.
No.
Okay, but yeah. DC.
So we went there, we stood in line, and some girl was handing out bracelets. Right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, she was, and I got confused at first because I thought it was a person who was giving out like, I don't know, some sort of like privilege bracelets, like for backstage or for whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that. I was like,
privilege
sure.
bracelets.
Well, I didn't.
I know.
I didn't realize they were like handmade beaded bracelets with like words on them. It was very sweet. Mine says Everglow, and
mine says Slay.
Yes.
Which my daughter really loves. She loves this bracelet. She's like, I like your Slay bracelet. I go, thank you. I call it a Slay slit.
I love it. And that's awesome.
She, this person who was just a fan was handing them out. Just very
She had like a whole big ring of bracelets. She was still handing them out. She was on our upper level in the venue, and she was
right.
Yeah, she was just giving them out. It was very nice. It made me feel like very included. And this was a concert where, for the first time, I didn't know all the girls, or all the members by name. I knew a couple of them because some of them had been on a reality program before.
Yeah.
But everybody else, we gave nicknames. You gave nicknames. We were looking at their...
I don't remember any of the nicknames except for Bangs.
Shout out to K-Profiles, our trusted source of K-pop member information.
Can I just shout them out alongside color-coded lyrics?
Yes.
Just because those two are like... I'm assuming they're fan sites.
Yeah.
So they're completely done by the fans, and they are up to date.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my gosh.
always.
Yeah. So shout out to them. They're our go-tos.
Right.
So... the members, so I knew Shion, different Shion from Dreamcatcher. This one has this one has an H in her name.
Yeah.
She's tall and has long brown hair and
legs.
No.
Never mind.
And then Yiren, who is like this very elf-like
an elf
member who was also on the same show as Shion. She was in the same Produce 101. She's from China. And so the other 4 members, I was like, I have no idea who they are. So we looked at their pictures on K-Profiles, and you assigned them names. So the legs was EU.
Legs.
Who was the one with black hair.
Mm-hmm.
The bangs, which was Onda. That
Bangs.
Really cute. I love Onda. I didn't go into it loving Onda because I didn't really know who she was, but I love her. She was so cute and bubbly and just adorable.
Bangs.
The Bob was Mia, who you really like.
Bob.
With the short hair, obviously. Yeah. And then Aisha, which we first called the Nails. And
nails, and she broke her arm.
Yeah, she hurt her arm still hurt as of the last concert they went to.
Yeesh.
And they didn't say how, but some of the pictures have been strategically taken so that you don't see her arm in it.
It's probably fractured.
I would think it'd be in a more solid cast than that. It was literally just like a plastic splint and then held together by Velcro.
All right, she's faking it. Don't believe her.
No, oh my God. You're really like into jumping to conclusions today. Sheesh. All right. But yeah, they were great. And I'll be honest, like I thought that they were lip syncing in the beginning because they sounded
I did too. I was gonna ask you that, but I didn't want to seem stupid.
No, they sounded so much like I think they had a backtrack with backing vocals, but I think for when it was like their individual part, they were
singing it.
Yeah. Like when Slay came on, I don't think that they were doing they weren't doing the na 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 nas or whatever. But it sounded like their real voices because there was one point near the end where they were throwing those balls out into the crowd, and Aisha threw one, and I don't know if it was like it hit somebody or like she bumped into a member, and all of a sudden you hear her go, "Oh," in the mic. And I'm like, "Oh, the mic is on. I get it."
So I didn't catch that. And in the beginning, they had like a technical mishap. Like
that was
audio.
very professional too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They I don't know if it was like the wrong song or whatever happened, but they immediately
It wasn't queued up correctly.
Yeah, they started and they did like the X with their arms and stuff, and then they like gathered themselves back up and they went on like true professional women, which I thought was really cool. So
it was great, but that's what made me think that it was not actually them singing, was just because that happened, and I'm like, they got this all queued up.
I think there was some boost with the backing vocals.
Sure,
but I really wasn't sure because they sounded so much like
they were on point.
Yeah,
very very good
nuts.
vocals. They're great vocalists for sure.
Also, I noticed that the song they started with was their song called First.
Okay, yeah.
Which I loved. That was the thing. And the song before the encore was Adios.
Very good.
I took note. I was
Look
thinking.
at you were actually writing shit down. What the fuck?
I did.
Damn.
I didn't want to forget.
I didn't write a damn thing down. God damn. I'm so unprepared.
That's okay. I'll help jog your memory.
Thank you.
But I want to think they did that strategically because if it was me, I would. Start the first song of the concert with First and ending this by saying adios and goodbye. Duh, it's very obvious to do that. Shout out to all of them for speaking English, by the way. Like that wasn't even something that something that Dreamcatcher or aespa did. They all spoke English, which was nuts to me. I didn't know because usually there's like the designated English speaker in a group.
Yeah, I think Dreamcatcher had YuYu, who was like kind of like the designated translator.
Yeah.
So
and then in aespa it was Giselle.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody was the designated English speaker, and I don't know if they had like a prompter or memorized stuff or whatever, but they seemed to like.
It did well.
I felt bad at one point because they were asking everybody who were like, what's a place in New Haven we should go to? And I want to just be like 80% of us aren't from here.
Insomnia cookies.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, but it was cool that they were trying to interact with like the fans that way.
Yeah, they were. They were very good.
It was very sweet.
Their whole interaction. They did this. I'm sorry if I'm talking over your notes or something.
No, I don't have an order.
One of the best parts for me was they did this like. They did a couple like solos, and then So the solos were really good, and they did one where it was Dua Lipa Physical. I thought that was really good.
Yes, and then all but Aisha, which I don't really understand why she couldn't just get a solo stage because there was one performance where someone was just standing and singing. So because she said
because her arm.
That's what she said for the group one because they did a medley of K-pop songs. They did Super Shy by New Jeans. They did Queen Card by G-Idol. They did I forget the name of the song, but it's by a group called 17. But they did a whole medley, and it was really great.
Dixteen.
No, shout out to Dixteen, but no, it's a group called 17. But yeah, I understand that because there was choreography and stuff, but also she was doing choreography with her own group, and also she.
So I don't understand that. Like,
no, me either.
That's what I was going to ask. Was like she was obviously doing all of the choreography that they were doing mostly, right? She was
in all of the. She was kind of dead arming it, so to speak.
Okay.
So anything where she had to like lift her arms up, she would just do one or whatever, and it was just by her side, which I'm sure for someone who like her who must have rehearsed that choreography however many times over the years, it must have been really weird to just like keep your arm to the side. But right. But I still feel like they could have given her a little bit of a spotlight because she's gorgeous. She's so pretty and tall. She's wicked tall.
Nails.
Arms.
Arms.
Arm. Um, but yeah, I love the individual stages that they had. Those were really cool. I think even if they didn't have those, if they put the rest of the songs they didn't do, they could have filled up a concert. That was the thing too. It was a very short concert. It started at like 7:40 and
it was barely an hour and a half.
And it ended at like a little after 9.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. I thought we'd be there until at least 10, and then it let out at 9:15. And we just said, "Oh,
you're like, okay, bye.
Let's go home." Well, they had like a fan meet thing afterwards, so that might be why. But
all right, I'm gonna bring something up.
Okay.
And it's related to the concert, but it's not related to the group.
Okay.
They had the fan meet. The fan meet was apparently upstairs. I was so fucking pissed off because they were not letting people into the bathroom upstairs. So I went in anyways. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to go pee.
Okay,
like,
well, they wouldn't let me into the ladies' room because that was where the line was starting, I guess. But I didn't see anybody keeping the men's room because it was at the opposite end. I think that might be why. But you also are just a rebel without a cause and went in anyway.
Oh,
so.
jeez.
They also had drinks. Also, shout out to the bar that was open throughout the concert. That was nice.
That guy was good. He made some really good drinks.
Yeah.
They were great. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
That's why I had to use the bathroom upstairs.
Ah, yes.
But I remember coming out of the bathroom and then the lady's like, "Yeah, sorry, you're not supposed to be here." I'm like,
"Oh, okay. I didn't." Okay.
Yeah, she was like,
"Well,
no,
it's
you
too
gotta
late.
get out of here." Okay. Too bad. I already did what I had to do. Sorry.
You can't stop
Not
me.
sorry.
This time won't stop me because I can't read.
I can't read. So, a lot of twerking at the show.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
Lots.
It was great. I think the really lovely thing about all 3 of the concerts, K-pop concerts we've seen, is that this is going to sound really creepy and horrible, but I'm going to say it anyway. But all the members are adults, which is great. Which is great, so you don't feel bad or you're not like looking like I can't look at somebody this way, because that's kind of what, for me, K-pop's kind of become, especially with like the girl groups. They're young. Like IVE is doing a world tour, but there are like young members. Like we were
What's
talking.
What's the youngest member? 16?
15 or 16.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah. And so like, but the oldest member is like 20, like, so they're very young. And I know we were saying before, if they were doing this like a couple of years in the future, that maybe would be something we would be interested in. But as it stands right now, strictly a listener.
Listen, I go to these shows for a couple of reasons. One, the music is good.
Yeah.
2, the people are usually very beautiful.
Yes.
It's nice to see that on stage, right? You're paying for some eye candy. It's nice. Okay. No shame on my game.
No,
right?
no.
But yeah, if you're a group like IVE, great group, right? Except for Betty.
Oh gosh.
Very bad.
The song of our drive too, besides all the Everglow songs, was Batty, the song we love to hate. Because it's a bad song. Anyway.
Do you have in your notes somebody that was very loud?
Yes, I do. I have loud AF.
Go for it.
Loud AF for Shion and Onda.
Yeah.
And Mia also. So literally on our left was somebody screaming like they should have been in an emo band, like screaming like, "Shion, I love you.
Yeah.
Shion, come back!" Like so loud.
It was. They were probably the loudest one, I think.
I think so. Oh, yeah, for sure.
The one behind us sounded loud because it was so close.
Yeah.
And I don't doubt that it was loud. But that person on the left was so fucking loud. Good for them, by the way. Not mad at it. Just saying.
So loud. So
I don't know
loud.
how you do it.
No, me either. I was at least grateful that they waited for the girls to stop talking before.
Sure.
They were screaming. Because I remember that a set of American fans were called out for being impolite during one of the Luna's U.S. concerts because they were yelling over the members trying to talk.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's shitty.
Yeah, especially when like they try so hard to, speak
English.
to the fan. Yeah, so it's
Right.
sucky when people are just wanting to yell to their bias that they love them or whatever. Oh, that was another thing too. Their last couple Everglow's last couple songs, really cool because that was like the height of fan interaction, and people were handing them their cell phones. I don't know if you saw any of that.
Oh, I was not in a good state at that point, but I did see a little bit of it.
A ton. So many they were just taking cell phones and doing selfies or videos or so cool. Like I don't know in any situation if not to say I distrust any K-pop people, but like I'd be hard pressed to give my phone to somebody to like...
If it was G-Dragon, you'd be giving your phone up right away.
So
don't tell me you'd be hard pressed. If it was fucking G-Dragon, you'd be handing that shit up. You'd be like, here, please put. No.
Okay.
Listen.
Called out.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
But anyways, they were great. Fan interaction, like so good, on point. They don't have a light stick, so we didn't see any of those.
No, but there was a lot of other light sticks, which again makes me I tweeted a little bit about this as I was at the concert while we were waiting.
I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
K-pop's for everybody. You don't need to designate. If you have a light stick, light sticks are expensive. Like they're minimum like 60. Yeah, they're like minimum $60.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I have multiple people I'm a fan of and I can't afford a light stick for $60 a pop for every person I'm a fan of. Like,
go off.
Sorry. So there, I saw there was NCT, there was Blackpink, there was, there were others and I cannot remember. G-Idol I saw twice. I saw.
Yes.
But there was a lot because otherwise I just had like my flashlight on my phone. So it's like I don't know, like
it's
Everglow's company.
hard.
Get them a light stick, will you?
For sure. Like they should turn that fucking make it Antarctica. Who cares? Like it doesn't matter.
This is a lit up map of Antarctica.
Whoever says that kind of shit like oh it's disrespectful, they are dumb. They're dumb. They have nothing better to do. They have nothing going on.
I think if you just turn your light on in support like that, who's going to pay if you're like a once? Are you and you hate Everglow? Like, are you going to pay $60-something for a ticket to go there and just light your light stick up? Like, that's such a stupid mentality that you think people are having.
The only way I could see it being like toxic is if the majority or like a good amount of the audience, maybe all the audience, had someone else's light stick. Like, I think that would be like, maybe they were trying to do something like, oh, I don't like this person in this group, so let's all get together.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But
that has yet to happen for any 3 of the concerts we went to.
It will never happen.
I hope not.
It will never happen.
It's just people who are saying it's disrespectful. But
they don't have...
But in Everglow's case, they don't have one. So sorry that somebody brought a Blackpink light stick to the Everglow concert.
That was cool.
But
I talked to her briefly.
Was she the one yelling? Shion, or was that somebody else?
The person next to her was. And then they moved from where we were because we were in this row that like we had to go by them. Mm-hmm. They weren't there anymore at the end, if you didn't notice.
Yeah.
So they moved towards the left, and I know it was them.
Okay.
I know it was you.
We know it was you.
And good on you. You did great.
Yeah, the caveat with us having access to alcoholic beverages, though, is that all of us at one point had to like run to the bathroom mid-show. I was purposely waiting for, sorry about it, my least favorite Everglow song. Yeah. But I came back. It wasn't like I did come back while they were still performing it. Yes. So you can't accuse me of purposely skipping their entire performance. I'm just saying.
I think I made it up.
Okay.
With my enthusiasm for the song.
Good. Okay. I didn't hear it because I was in the bathroom.
You came back.
Okay.
You came back.
I did hear. Yeah. La Di Da fan song of the entire time. Everybody was so loud.
It was their loudest song.
Yes.
For sure.
Because then they were teaching people to say Everglow forever, let's go.
Sure.
And I'm sitting there thinking, we were already going to say it. You don't need to teach us. We were already going to say it.
It wasn't so much they were teaching the phrase. They were teaching the hand movements.
Oh, I completely forgot the hand movements. But
I don't remember. It's like up and down or something like that. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. Slay. Okay. Slay.
Oh, yeah.
Remember it was like.
Yeah. Which is, yeah.
I can't do it. I'm not coordinated enough at all ever. But.
Everglow.
Everglow forever.
Let's go. That was one of the like interacting with the audience bits that I really enjoyed about the concert. It made it more personal, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too. I like when they do that kind of stuff. It's really cool.
So yeah, K-pop's really a whole. Its whole idea is that it is multifaceted in like the music as much as like the visual aspect of it. So.
Oh, the visual.
Yeah, the visual. Do you want to guess who the visual is in Everglow?
Didn't we talk about this?
Yeah, but do you remember?
No. I can guess. You want me to guess?
Sure.
Is it Shion?
No.
Is it Aisha?
No.
Who is it?
Yiren.
Okay. Here we
but
go.
They all are so beautiful. It doesn't really matter. Like it's such a weird, I feel like, arbitrary position in
We've
a group.
talked about this before. Like
yeah,
K-pop group like
there's like a lead dancer and a main dancer, and there's a lead vocalist and a main vocalist,
but main supersedes the lead.
Yeah, but it just seems.
But it doesn't make any sense because this like lead and main are pretty much the same thing.
Because if you got somebody like in Blackpink, you have Rose as the main vocalist, and then Jisoo's the lead vocalist. But if they have the same amount of lines, like what does it matter?
And then you have the two rappers.
The main rapper and the lead, like they have the same amount of bars. What's the difference? It does. So to me, it's always been so. Like, just say rapper. Just say vocalist. Just
Yeah.
say dancer. Whatever.
She's one of the rappers. She's one of the vocalists. She's one of the dancers.
They just split it so finely that it
They all
starts
dance,
to lose
too.
its meaning too. Well, there's some that they highlight for dance breaks specifically. So like EU and Everglow is the main dancer.
Oh, and Sua.
Sua is the,
Yeah.
And then who would be it for Ace? But I think it's Karina.
Okay, and then twice is Momo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's so they highlight them. So in like UA, there's that dance break where Momo's the center for that because she's the main dancer.
Gotcha.
So those kind of make sense, but you're right. Everybody does dance. Most of them do sing. Some of them do rap. So it's sort of they're just a bunch of multi-talented people.
You kind of have to do it all, I think.
And they slay.
They slay. So, concert was good.
It was good.
You liked it.
I did.
Good.
And I'm glad you liked it too.
Well, thank you for driving. You actually drove there and back.
Yes, I did.
It's not close. You know, it was 2.5 hours there and 2.5 hours back.
I'm so stupid. I misunderstood where it was because I
Okay.
thought it was in Hartford, and I knew it was in New Haven. But in
I
my
think
mind,
I might have told you Hartford.
But in my mind, I like thought it was Hartford as far as like a distance,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't realize that you add pretty much an extra half hour onto it to get to New Haven. And I said, oh.
That was probably my fault. I think
No,
I said Hartford and I didn't.
I mean, I put it in the GPS and it said the time we'd get there and how long it would take. And so I had full notice from that point of driving. And I don't mind driving, and it wasn't a bad drive either. So
I drive to remember.
It was all good. So you don't have to.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. So seeing as that was the concert, and you're in their K-pop corner, is there something else you want to talk about with the K-pop corner? I have to ask some questions about this thing that you have on here.
Okay. What is it? Yeah.
It's about G-Dragon.
Okay.
All right.
So
you were going to talk about it anyways, right?
I was. Yeah. Yeah, I was.
Or am I bringing this up
Nope.
prematurely here?
So yes and no, because it's an ongoing case. So stuff seems to change every day, which is why I feel differently now than I did when we last recorded, and I was all disappointed and whatever.
So now,
yeah.
Hi, it's my K-pop corner now.
But
but what I read in an article was that he had submitted a drug test already.
Yep.
And that the results had come back negative.
Yep.
For drugs.
Yep.
And that he was willing to cooperate with police and hand over his phone and all that kind of stuff. And it seems like a good thing.
Yep.
And he even said like, oh, when I get clear of this, you need to make an apology.
Right. Yep. So
I hope I didn't just say all their shit.
Not all of it.
I'm sorry.
The interesting thing about G-Dragon, which I only know from being a longtime fan of his, is that like he also is he's an entrepreneur, but I do genuinely like mean that. He's very big in the fashion world. He has his own brand of Nike shoes. He has his own clothing company with certain logos. Like one of his logos is a daisy with one of the petals missing, which people find knockoffs of everywhere, and the fandom always jokes like, oh, he could sue them, and he doesn't, because he just has never been a person who
he's not
sues
litigious.
anybody. But he's got like some attorney working around the clock for him, who is literally going on from like people spreading misinformation on YouTube videos to the police themselves, and threatening to sue for defamation, which is
cease and desist, that type shit.
Or just general misinformation, which is something that he never does, because he's been a celebrity since he was 8. Like I'm sure it's annoying, but he's so used to people just saying whatever about him. But this is something that is so damaging to his career.
Sure it is.
That any misinformation about it is in itself damaging, and so him taking a legal stance so ferociously against it is very shocking and makes everybody think like, oh, he's
got to fight here. He's not just laying down. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
A couple of questions.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So first things first. He who shall not be named, Sungri. I'm going to name him. He lawyered up too, right? And he kind of denied everything.
But he had so many charges against him, and it was a sex crime, and there were so many victims and witnesses and stuff. So this is different, where, drug use is minus yourself, and I guess like as far as damage or whatever, it's a victimless crime.
Okay.
If you know what, do you feel what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Sex trafficking is different from yourself,
of course,
smoking weed or whatever.
It's just him hurting himself. Yeah. Anything. Okay. The second thing was, so we know Sungri lawyered up. He did the same thing, but obviously he seems to be more innocent. This seems like a good thing, what he did. Like it seems like he kind of is convinced that he's going to come out on top on this.
So far, there's no reason why he shouldn't.
Sure.
But it is changing every day. Like it's so the thing too with Sungri was there was a lot of evidence and there was a lot of people who did get in trouble. Like there were videos of like, trigger warning, there were videos of like these now ex K-pop idols who were drugging and raping women and filming it. So like that there was evidence, and so
Sure.
the reason Sungri was so guilty was because he was in these chat rooms watching. He didn't participate, but he watched the videos and would comment like rude things about it and stuff. So that was like the smoking gun, was this like this group chat that ended up happening. For G-Dragon, this is basically the way that this started. Was there was a quote unquote drug bust of a Korean actor, and then somebody.
Was it the guy from Parasite?
No, it was. I thought it was not the guy. It was a different, maybe lesser character.
Sorry, I say the guy. Like there's one person in the movie.
One of the guys.
The
yeah.
main character. It's not the main character.
Not the main
Parasite, right?
character.
Okay.
But one of the guys.
Okay.
And so there was a person who said, "Oh, BT Dubs, G-Dragon was also involved," and this is literally seemingly the only evidence that there is this one guy.
There's no pictures. There's no video. There's nothing.
And G-Dragon submitted, this is little TMI, but he submitted, his like nail clippings, he submitted hair samples, he submitted urine samples. Like he's given as much DNA as humanly possible, willingly.
Sure.
Because he's been voluntarily going to the police. The police haven't like subpoenaed or or anything, or like
he just wants this cleared
because they don't have enough evidence to like hold him. Like he's the one going voluntarily to the cops and doing all this, so the cops have never had enough evidence to like charge him or
but
whatever.
So that to me that would seem that he's innocent of it, because he's willingly submitting evidence. He's like he's even demanding an apology when he gets cleared, because he feels like he's going to be cleared.
Like they don't even have enough evidence to like ask for his phone. He just said he would.
You can have it.
Yeah, which they haven't done yet, but like. People were all. The recent accusation was the police said that he had shaved his body hair, which, as a K-pop idol, like a lot of them shave their body hair.
Sure, isn't that like the standard?
There's the thread that I saw of years worth of G-Dragon with shaved legs. Like that's like it's not new.
Sure.
And he's also like, what's the difference between leg hair and your hair on your head? Like, really, what is the difference? I feel like there's no difference. As far as a follicle test for drugs or whatever. Sure. So the whole thing was so stupid and arbitrary. And so there was, so the police just seem like they're saying anything. And I can see where the line would be blurred, where people would be like, well, why don't you believe the Sungri thing? And it's like I said, there was so much evidence and so many other suspects who.
So why did they implicate him?
G-Dragon, because just somebody said he was in this establishment where drugs.
So somebody was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So-and-so was there plus G-Dragon.
But there's never been enough evidence yet to charge or hold him not in contempt, but you know what I mean.
What about the Parasite actor?
That I don't know too much about. He's been a little less quiet, but I feel like it's just because G-Dragon's party's been so loud about it, which is good. But I think people they're more believing of him because he's so like willing to cooperate. Like, I don't know. It just seems like for somebody who would be involved in drugs, to be this like brazen and say I have nothing to hide, it makes me think that maybe they really don't have anything to hide. But
yeah, so this seems like a better outcome. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I'm asking a lot of questions. If I'm asking too many, please tell me. With his career, like, is this going to, even if he comes out on top, is this going to negatively impact his career?
If he comes out on top, no, because he's been so open, or legally he's been so open and vocal about everything.
Okay.
So if
he'll
he comes
be
out
seen as honest.
Yeah, because I think if he was taking a more reserved approach, people would think of it as that he has stuff to hide. So that would make them think he's sketchy and I don't know, not to be trusted in the public or whatever.
Okay.
But I feel like he has a great chance of coming out on top, and so. It changes day to day, and I do kind of feel bad that my first reaction was like, he did it, and I'm disappointed because in the past he did get involved in something like this.
Sure.
12 years ago, but it's changing every day, and so it seems like the police are really just kind of being weirdly sketchy and going off of hearsay and all this weird stuff.
Well, they're a very conservative nation, and the police kind of rule the roost there in terms of like who gets convicted. So
So we'll see.
This seems good. I'm just saying, it seems good.
So far, so good. I mean, the preliminary ones came back negative.
Yeah.
I think there's other ones with other bodily stuff he's donated to science that takes longer to test. But I don't know. It's just he didn't shave his head. He didn't dye his hair. He didn't do anything to like conceal anything like people are maybe trying to make out or whatever. It's all just there's no hard proof yet. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Well, let's stay cautiously optimistic for now until we have a reason not to be. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. I'm glad that it's working out for the most part.
Me too, but I feel bad. It's a lot of stress to have like the entire country's eyes on you for something negative like that.
I mean, I hate to say it, and it shouldn't be like this, obviously, but this is what his life is. This is what he does. He's in the public eye. He's been in the public eye, like you said, since he was 8. So.
But yeah, it's just the difference of it being a career ender, which is why he's being so loud about it, which is great. So
he should fight back for what's true, and it seems like he is. So good for him. Hopefully, he comes out on top. I think.
The funny thing too is he's like inadvertently such a trendsetter in Korea. Yeah. He had an interview outside the courthouse before they interviewed him for 4 hours about I don't know what, and his outfit and his shoes and the glasses he wore all sold out in stores.
Damn.
So he's inadvertently just this
steal
weird
his look.
Yeah.
Courthouse.
Yeah. So the courthouse look. But yeah. So it's ongoing. It's pending. So we'll see.
Damn. Okay. So is there anything else you want to discuss in the K-pop corner? Because I think we are coming up soonish.
We are coming up soonish. There was one thing kind of K-poppy. So I think the singer's name is pronounced Lauv. Okay. Lauv. He had a song come out, which I'm now going to find, but it kind of ties into our talk about AI.
Ooh, okay.
So let me find it for 1 second. Okay, here we go. So he has a song called Love You Like That. Mm-hmm. So he was very proud to introduce the Korean version of this song. However, he did this using, I'm going to say his tweet, which was this: so crazy and honored that we used AI to create the Korean version of Love You Like That, alongside the amazing help and talent of Kevin Woo, who was in a K-pop band I really like called U-Kiss.
Okay, we gotta die. Okay.
Along with the amazing help and talent of Kevin Woo in translating and singing. Basically, Kevin translated and sang the Korean, and then DJ Swivel and Hooky AI took my raw vocals to create an AI model of my voice tone. So insanely mind-blowing, blah, 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 blah. Why?
Okay, listen.
It's literally just somebody else singing it and Lauv just putting his stupid voice over it.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. What do you think?
We have talked about this in the past, okay? In the context that I have told you, and I still want to do this, I want to make an AI K-pop song.
Okay.
I don't know how I would do it.
Yeah.
Okay. But since it's like the technology is more readily available and it's
there's several
easier.
SpongeBob K-pop covers, so
Several.
if they can get access to it, I feel like we can too.
But I kind of want to do the same deal. I don't want it to sound horrible though.
No, there are some that just get put out and it's not really quality control tested, and they just put it out.
How is this song?
I didn't listen to it because it's just dumb. Like I didn't want to give it any attention as far as like listens, and I don't know his original song anyway, but I think it's stupid that he couldn't be bothered to learn Korean. And people were pointing out other acts that did learn other languages. So like Avril Lavigne,
Well, she was also
for Girlfriend.
And she was also a weeb.
That's fine though. At least she learned the language. I'm not here to talk about
that other fucking song she has, the one that
Minasato arigato
I hate that song.
The rest of the song was actually not as bad as that
intro. It's not as bad, you're right.
But that set the tone for it because you automatically are just like
it's a hard hit.
Yeah, it is.
But you're right, the rest of the song is not that bad. But this is somebody that kind of did their own thing, put his voice over it, and he's like, cool, this is great.
Yeah, Little Mix also did they covered one of their fan favorite songs in Korean and Japanese and used their own voices. So it's possible to do this. It's like if you Romanize Korean into, in a pronounceable way, like I've done that with Japanese, it's not
okay.
You just practice it, and it's not hard, and it's for one song, and you're recording it once. And if you want to perform it live somewhere, it's sure, go off. But it just seems so disingenuous and weird to not even bother to do this.
Okay.
So that's where my problem with AI lies. Like, there's harmless to me, like using cartoon characters like SpongeBob,
Sure.
and then there's harmful where it is taking, even with it's him doing it himself. It's his own consent, but it's harmful for like artists if their songs are being like, say, Ariana Grande cover of Hello Kitty by Avril Lavigne or whatever, and that's just like not it and weird. So it just, everybody was kind of roasting him and ratioing and all this stuff. And then going to the Korean artist Kevin, who did sing it and say, we really want to hear your version, like just you know, the version that you actually did.
Yeah.
So, and he couldn't even be bothered to like have a team to translate it. He like reached out to a K-pop person and said, hey, can you translate my song? Cool, thanks, bro, or whatever. So it was all not very well received, and it just comes off as lazy and also maybe harmful to what has been happening.
See, I don't want to do that. Like, that's not what I wanted to do. Like, not that way.
Yeah.
But I still kind of want to do it.
But that's fine, because like we're not charging money. We wouldn't be charging money for anybody to listen to it.
It'd be completely free.
Yeah.
Completely.
And just a fun thing to do. Like, we're not out here to set some new music standard in the world.
And I'm not trying to take over someone's like a position. I just kind of wanted to see if I could do like a Hatsune Miku kind of thing where it's not a real person, you know?
Mm-hmm. So.
But
so that was the only other K-pop corner thing I really had, which was just that like it's being seen as this. Yes, it's an innovation, but
it is innovative for sure.
But it's not like the atom bomb was also innovative. I'm not really trying to compare two extreme things like like that. But what I'm saying is, not all innovations are good for humanity.
Yeah.
You know. So let singers sing. Learn how to sing.
And if my mother had wheels, she would have been a bike. Okay.
That would have been the greatest innovation yet. Makes me think of that 70s or 60s animated show where this guy's like, and he turned into his car, and it's just this horrifying morph of horrifying.
That was weird.
I think it was because it was so slow-mo. It's like, oh, his butt is now the bumper.
It's
cool.
strange.
Great info I didn't need. It would have been better if it was just like a spinny effect with sparkles, and then suddenly he's a car. Or my grandmother's a bicycle. So anyway, that's the K-pop corner.
Title of my memoir. My memoirs will be called "My Grandmother's the Bicycle."
You know, if you've got a grandmother, dream big.
Dream big. Be a huffy. Be a Schwinn.
Oh yeah, you know.
Be a mongoose. Go off road.
I loved it just by virtue of the name.
Mongoose.
Like, yeah, because it was like,
I had a mongoose bike because they were so fucking cool in the like late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
They I used to put glow in the dark stars in my spokes also. I had the sparkle tassels for a while, but I dropped, like, they got gross and I dropped my bike a lot.
Yep.
So bigger and better things.
Real quick, I used to have you know that like clay that's on baseball fields? Mm-hmm. That was like, for some reason they were doing construction behind my house, or like in front of my house when I was a kid.
Did you steal some of that clay?
No.
Oh, okay.
We used to use, it was piled up like big mounds, and we used to jump off it with our bikes.
Oh, that was not I thought you were like gonna say something about decorating your bike with that.
No.
Okay.
That'd be weird. But no.
Just jumping off of stuff.
Mounds of that baseball clay piled up like a mountain, and we would just jump off of it.
My brother made a ramp for our family.
Hell yeah.
They live by a pond, and my brother made a ramp of just shooting off into the pond.
Like Jackass.
Yeah, but needless to say, like, his bike got trashed.
Of course. Yeah.
Covered in pond water and scum and whatever. So yeah. But the important thing is that they had fun.
They had fun, and you know.
You know.
Hi, this is so and so, and welcome to Jackass.
So. I think we're heading toward the end. Just about.
Wow, there was a couple things that you didn't get to say.
They're getting rid of all of our pandas. I'm sad about that.
What?
Not they, but China's asking for all the pandas back. There's not going to be any zoos in anywhere except for China where you can see pandas. I thought you knew this.
They can just do that?
Yep. They were some treaty, I guess, all the way back in the Reagan era, where I forget what the name of the treaty was, but they like gifted pandas, and so then pandas became something that could be in American or worldwide zoos. This is worldwide, and now China wants all their pandas back.
I wonder how would you enforce that? Like,
I don't know.
Like, I know you have 2 pandas. Please bring them back.
I think it's contractual. Yeah, because there's the last zoo in America you can see pandas in this one in Atlanta, and it's because their contract ends in 2024.
Contract.
So I guess it is a contractual
Damn.
thing, and I imagine that must be the case with some other animals if they're coming from Africa or wherever else.
I guess I never thought of it like that.
Of animals having contracts.
Yeah, just because by virtue, it's just very
Yeah.
strange to say that. But like, yeah, I guess China loans them back or loans them out, and then we.
So I hope
Give
your
'em back.
children were able to see pandas once in their life, because they never will again unless they go to China.
Nope. I don't think they have.
Unless they decide to loan them out again, like library books. But
True. Yeah. You wanna know what? Fuck it. They don't even do shit anyways. Okay.
they're cute though.
They're so
They're
cute.
fat, cute
They are.
little blobs.
You know, do anything. They don't even fuck. Like,
Oh my God.
they can't even do that correctly.
I know they're endangered because like
They're lazy. They're too lazy to fuck.
They're just choosing to be
You're
endangered.
just like, you know what? We could really go at this right now and make it just fix the whole
Man,
population.
I really feel like it.
I got tired of that.
Yeah.
I was 8.
If you want to see pandas, go see red pandas. They're not really pandas, but they're close enough. And namesake wise, that's all we have now. So
They're fine.
that was something I wanted to talk about. That was really it for that. The next episode we're gonna film will be after Thanksgiving.
Oh.
It's yes.
It's
break
not
out
Thanksgiving.
Break out your turkey and mashed potatoes.
Yay.
Sing some songs.
Yay.
Hey. Give thanks to Grum and some maize.
Oh, Grum, yes.
I can't wait to see what annual charge debate my dad and my uncle have, as is tradition for any holiday gathering.
That.
And my dad, oh my God, my dad, who's not gonna watch this, he's very low tech kind of guy. He says he purposely picks fights with my uncle just to get a rise out of him. And he's always sitting there laughing, but you can see my uncle getting more and more like flustered and mad about
Because
it.
he loves it. It makes him go. It makes him tick.
It's like, this doesn't need to be a tradition,
It's funny
Dad.
as hell.
You don't need to do this.
All right. If you don't want to wind up your in-laws,
Yeah.
or maybe, I don't know, if you do, you can check us out at LEM'n'TEA Podcast on Twitter and youtube.com/LEM'n'TEA podcast for the episodes. On
Subscribe.
TikTok, right?
Yes, on the yes,
well?
on TikTok as well. Also, like
As well, also plus. Or you can go to our respective pages, which for you would be youtube.com/AzarathsFlame, AZARATHSFLAMEE, and YouTube. Sorry, Trippy. Shit.
Sorry, I distracted you.
I did too much. I was like focused. I'm like, damn it, I gotta nail this.
I do appreciate that you spell it every time, because I don't spell your name out. Maybe I'll do it this time.
You don't have to.
Okay.
I'd prefer if you did.
Okay. So Twitter.
Twitter.com/TrippyDesTRIPPYDESU. Because I think everyone knows how to spell Lumo. Like, Lumo is what it is. So.
I mean, it could be like the letter U, and it could be
It's
like
not.
N-O. So I'm going to spell it now.
Go ahead.
If you want to go check out Lewis at twitch.tv or twitter.com, it's both at /YOU. And nope, I already fucked it up. K, it's hard.
And
No, K, because it's thinking of the, okay. We start It's YOUKNOWLUMO. I'm not the best speller. Okay, I didn't get my English degree by
Vanna,
spelling.
What does she win?
New car.
A brand new car. Not really.
But anyway, yeah, please, if you liked what you heard, please consider subscribing. We'd be very thankful. Can't be hateful, gotta be grateful for whatever we have, but we'll be extra thankful and grateful if you subscribe to the LEM'n'TEA podcast. And check out our respective
The 50th
socials.
subscriber gets $50.
When was that decided?
Right fucking
How
now.
is that happen? Oh my
Right
gosh.
fucking now.
That'd be a good incentivizer for like our real life
I know.
friends, because they'll know that we can give them the money.
Right.
It's a good Christmas bonus.
It's okay. Hey, listen, if you're a real life person that knows us and you're watching the episode, fucking do it.
If you're not subscribed already,
Do
what
it.
the heck, dude?
Do it.
Do it. Do that.
Anyways, I think it was a pretty good episode. I really had fun.
I do too.
It was great. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming. It will be shorter, but that's fine. And,
Well, I'm thankful for whatever length the
Wow.
episode is.
Oh,
Can't be hateful.
can't be hateful. Gotta be grateful.
Gotta be grateful.
It is Thanksgiving soon, and we are gonna have a great time.
We.
We are gonna have a great time. Bye bye.
Ha, bye-bye.
Cool.